Mhm. All right. That the Father has given us free, cheap, easy, inexpensive, simple, powerful, effective ways to take care of our health. And so at midnight, I started researching, feeling in my gut that there was something I would find something that would take care of whooping cough. And I was opening up. I was putting in phrases and words and alternative therapy, alternative healing, alternative health, you name whooping, related to whooping cough. And I hammered it. I was putting in a thing and opening up. Now, sometimes you put in a search thing and it'll, what I call fuzz out. You might get 4 hits and then it goes like gibberish hits, I was opening up every single thing on every single search that I did to the second page, third page, fourth page, fifth page, sixth page until it fuzzed out. When you're doing research, leave no stone unturned. That's like rule number 1 to me. Leave no stone unturned. You dig up everything. Go for everything. Go for broke, So, and I did that. So, 6 hours later, 6 o'clock in the morning, I found it. And I could have found it in the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, but 6 hours I stayed with it. And when I hit it, I knew. And it was that these guys were taking an airbrush compressor, Harbor Freight airbrush compressor, and a Harbor Freight airbrush, $5 for that airbrush. And they were ecstatically happy about the fact that that $5 airbrush put out better size particulates to inhale than their $700 hospital nebulizer. Okay. And so, packed up the family. We went into Springfield, went to Harbor Freight, and they had a $59 compressor and a $99 compressor. And I just couldn't make up my mind. So we got in the car and started going home. And, I don't remember. Somebody might, but 5-10 minutes, I don't know, 20 minutes. I don't think we were halfway home or anything. I was like, it's an hour drive to get here. This is stupid. I'm just going to go buy one of them blasted compressors. So I went back and I bought the $99 compressor and an airbrush, a couple or 3 of them, just in case, And so we got home, and like the next day, guess what? Yeah, I got whooping cough. And I coughed, and I coughed, and I coughed, and I coughed. And it was like I knew it could kill me. One more bout of it could kill me. That's what I felt like, honest. Because I wasn't in good shape. My heart, my lungs, come to find out, yeah, my heart was definitely not in good shape. I've been having massive coronary, what do you call it, congestive heart failure for about 5 years. And so I had it, and I said, get the compressor. And I did. Now, what I nebulized was colloidal silver. Okay. And that was it. Boom, done. It was like the salt pipe. Bam, done, over. And the salt pipe came later than this. So it was awesome. It really was. But the article that I ran across had to do with salt, not colloidal silver. This was a medical study that I'd run across. The medical study, it was a combination of 2 things. The medical study was with saline solution. And they said that a jet nebulizer with saline solution, and let me tell you this, I will quote them word for word to this day. Maybe not exact, but no, seriously, word for word. Gerard Schuck, Scheuck, Gerard Schuck, and a medical company, Inamed, and Harvard Medical Study, Harvard Medical School. That's where Strouk was at, combined with Inamed and one other company, one other medical, whether drug company or appliance company, probably the nebulizer company. And I can't remember their name, but everything else I can remember for words. He said this will stop dead in its tracks any respiratory transmitted disease. Does that include whooping cough? Yeah. Does that include pneumonia? Yeah. Does it include tuberculosis? Yeah. Does it include Ebola, Zaire, whatever? Yeah. Now, if it gets in your body, no, another story. But any respiratory transmitted disease, kill it dead in its tracks, period, end of story. So these other guys, though, and I think maybe they alluded to his study, but what they were doing was they were literally taking a welding oxygen bottle with a 35 psi regulator on it, or regulator down to psi, and ran their Harbor Freight nebulizer airbrush. Okay, they were not using the compressor; they were using oxygen. They were using oxygen as their propellant for colloidal silver. Okay, so I put different things together, and I'm just reconstructing all this in my head. So does that work? They had a guy who had bronchitis. Yeah, bronchitis. Yeah, 20 years. 20 minutes he was okay. 20 years of suffering done, over with in 20 minutes. And so let's see what else happened there. I got cured, bam, like that. And then a little bit later, the phone rings. Oh, and I had told a certain somebody's wife about it, because it was going around. I think her son had it. I said, get a Harbor Freight. Because here's my thinking on that. I'm jumping and going back and forth. I'm sorry, but I'm just reconstructing this stuff. My thinking was thusly, okay. Welding oxygen, wasn't into at the time, have been since then. Easy. Another topic to cover. Okay. And another free, cheap, and easy deal. Kitty litter, baby, kitty litter. Buy kitty litter. Jeez, there's so many things. So we get a phone call, and I told this lady about this. So, okay. Stories, and stories. The phone rings. And I hear, Uncle Gary. And I hear this. And I don't know. He's talking to me like he knows me, and I'm like, I had no clue whatsoever. None. Could not place it, because his voice was just so shot, so bad, so, mitigated with whatever, compromised, by the whooping cough. And then he was talking. He kind of just kept talking, But I'd hear this, and I was like, that sounds like an airbrush compressor. I was like, what the heck? Why is somebody talking and using an airbrush compressor, And after a while, his voice got clearer, and he kept talking. Clearer, couldn't quite, gets clearer, and he keeps talking. And all of a sudden, I'm like, hey, Jonathan, how you doing? It was Jonathan David Brown. I had told his wife, Rachel, how to get put one together, and she did. She went right down. Went right down after I got off the phone, got it. He got whooping cough and got cured really quick while I was listening to him. And I ended up a video the other day with a little screenshot of him that was thrown in with some other stuff. And I think it was that property one. Yeah. But, he was phenomenal, phenomenal man. A great theologian, great believer, Nazarite. I mean, he didn't cut his beard, didn't cut his hair, didn't drink wine, and great, great man of God. The same people that excommunicated me had excommunicated him many years ago, and he prayed imprecatory prayers on him. And I was getting their emails, and I was extremely leery about ever having anything to do with him because of the horrific, weird, bizarre things that happened to people. And eventually I did. We started going fellowshipping and became close with them, and then eventually they ended up, guess what? Excommunicating me. So I called him up. I called Jonathan, and I'm so glad I did. And I'm so glad that actually, I don't know. He's okay. I won't go there. But anyway, I called him up and told him what had happened and told him what they had done. And he kind of, because he was my who was I going to talk to? I've just been divorced and excommunicated. And so he encouraged me and counseled me, and we just had some really long, the last time we talked was like an hour and a half, and he did like all the talking. It was just a phenomenal time. And then he died on my birthday, September 27th. Wow, So yeah, I will always remember that. He was my go-to guy, Anyway. And that was me. I was that person for a friend one time. Found out his wife had been doing things that weren't right, and he said, "I'm just stunned. I'm shocked. I'm blown away. I'm just, just wiped out, destroyed, And he said, "You're the first person I thought to call." So he called me. Of course, he forgave his wife, and they're still married. Go figure that one out. Anyway. Yeah, no bitterness. It's it's the Father worked that out. Yeah, Jonathan David Brown. Now, and then another case that was with colloidal silver, and he was using colloidal silver. So, sometime later, we get a knock on the door, and this guy's there, and he's off-gridder, This is bunny trail and bunny trail and bunny trail and bunny trail and bunny trail. Whew, boy. Okay, how do I tell this? I'll come back to it later. Joe and Wendy. Joe and Wendy, if you can dig back into Doomsday Preppers. They were on Doomsday Preppers a couple years ago. And, Joe didn't get a good rating. Because Joe had a bad attitude for preppers. Joe had the idea that I can grow enough food to feed everybody. And if I can't, I'm just going to leave everything for them, and I'm going to go off in the woods. They can have it, I'm not going to fight them. I'm not going to kill them. You don't have enough weapons. Anyway, I loved it. He was cool. But he knocked on the door because his wife had pneumonia. Wendy had pneumonia. And he's going on and on and on. He goes, talking about the emergency room. If you guys can't help us, we got to go to the emergency room. I got to take her. She's going to die. I don't think she's going to make it. He says, what's the protocol for this? And I'm like, he said hospital, doctor, emergency room. And I'm like, I don't know. Those are foreign things to me. And I don't know. I don't know what they do. And so Elaine left with him with whatever she, herbs and homeopathics and stuff, and went with him. And so this door shut, and I was like, the door shut, and I was like, I don't know what they do, but I know what I do. So I made some colloidal silver, and I actually put in it wasn't a whole lot of it, but glass, and I put in a cap full of peroxide, oxygen. Took it over there, Duke. She's sitting in a chair, and I was going to work, so he had a little bitty compressor, a generator this big. I was like, oh my gosh, he had it. He had a generator, off-grid. He had gas for it, and it worked. It fired up. I couldn't believe it. It looked like an antique little piece of garbage. And they plugged it in, and I said, okay, see you later. And Wendy called me later. She goes, that was the most miraculous thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. She said, 6 minutes.